gear tubers. Just reverse and I'll give you the big hello. Hello tubers! Right, today's vlog, or mini vlog, is life with a GoPro. I've already done this poxy vlog once this week. Unfortunately, I was singing the iPhone's praises and it seems to have let me down a little bit. I don't actually vlog with the GoPro. Now, this kind of brings me on to the whole subject of, is it worth the money for a GoPro? Well, yes, the GoPro is worth the money. I got the GoPro 5 Hero. Now, I didn't pay the £300 it's currently up for. I paid £200 and directly from a GoPro refurbished seller, some bloody blah. But it comes with an official GoPro 12 months warranty, just like a GoPro would from GoPro. Now that can't be bad. So I've saved £100 just because some little urchins unpackaged the GoPro. Normally things like that would bother me, but for the sake of £100, I thought, nah, blow it, why not, I'll let it go. And to be honest with you, I can't tell that someone's had it out of the box before. It doesn't come in the lovely crystal clear case that they do from GoPro. It comes in a cardboard packaging you've probably seen previously in my packaging of it. Now in that case you get, one second. You get the little hard case or impact case, I suppose you might call it. I'll show you. Well, I can't really show you as I'm driving actually, but you can probably see that it's like a little surround thing. Boy, is that GoPro hot. So it's sitting on the dash baking. Like I said, I've already done this vlog once, but unfortunately my iPhone let me down. I can't actually get the material off the iPhone. Right, let's not bother going into that because that is just one headache I want to forget, tubers. Anyway, look, the purpose of this video is my opinion, my review of the GoPro 5. For me, because I live a forgetful lifestyle, hey, I can arrive somewhere and forget what I forgot there half. I forgot why I got there, forgot why I went there half the time, tubers. Things like that don't bother me. I live, my head's in the cloud and it's fantastic. Well, the GoPro, or any of the GoPros, is a little bit of a life choice, a little bit of a lifestyle. You have to have at least, and a few people I know who've got GoPros have all got the same sort of kit bag. They have a bag that they've brought just outright for the GoPro, and it's sitting there with a few of its accessories, i.e. the memory cards, a spare battery perhaps, a head mount, a chest mount, I don't know what you'd call the stick. You know, that bit there, tubers. I don't know what you'd call that. Selfie stick, is it? I'm not sure. It doesn't extend or anything. Now, my life, I can't be bothered to... I don't carry my wallet round on me. You know, I should be a jag owner, really. Excuse me, I seem to have misplaced the wallet. Get someone else to pick up the bill. I really do not bother to take half the things I should to where I should be going. So therefore, I choose the iPhone for probably 60% of my film. Now, as long as I recall and I know and it's planned, say if I was to go to Hever Castle, I would try to remember, oh I know, I'm going to make a little bit of footage for you guys, I'll take the GoPro. And then I'll end up taking a couple of the accessories of choice, you know, i.e. that stick, the spare battery, the memory card, and then the GoPro comes into its own. I think what I tried to say in my previous video, and I'm trying to recap it, but without going over the same ground, because it kind of terrible case of deja vu here, viewers. The thing is that come on, we could have pulled out half a dozen times, you moron. The thing we forget with seriously, AF 17 XM something, you wazzock. Ford Mondeo, if you're watching. I won't give the full reg, I've missed the letter out deliberately. Anyway, the thing we forget about the GoPro is that it's an action cam. Now, the action camera, you know, is designed really to marry up with a chest mount, a head mount, and probably other accessories that leaves your hands free, you know, a little bit like how I'm filming this. Perfectly above board to the do-gooders. So you can have your GoPro attached to your head, your chest, and you can do these wonderful action footages. Now, someone that stands out a mile to me on YouTube is a guy called Harry Main. I don't watch his channel as much in recent times because, to be honest, I found his content a little bit boring of late. But that's the thing with an action cam, you know, you stick it to your head, your chest, and you go off on your mountain bike, your BMX, and you do a tail whip, you do a bar spin and all of that, and you get that wonderful POV footage from it, and that is really what the GoPro is about. If I just bear that, you know, take that, put that to one side for a minute, tubers. We're just looking at the camera for what it does and what it doesn't do. You know, I don't know if you've noticed in a couple of my videos, and I'm probably a bit of a habit of doing it with no matter what format I'm recording in now. There's a delay with the GoPro. It seems to turn on, starts recording, you get video footage for about a second and a half, and then the microphone seems to kick in. That could be something to do with firmware, you know, firmware, whatever you want to call it, and it could just be an update that would resolve that. But unfortunately, it really niggles me, so I'm marking it down on that. Now, video footage, you know, what it actually records, you know, the quality of the video. Well, do you know what? I can't tell the difference between my GoPro and my iPhone, which is a shame, really, when you consider that the GoPro is a standalone, you know, it is what it is, you know, it's a camera, you know, where a mobile phone really is, you know, it's a phone, it goes on the internet. Hell, you guys are probably viewing this through your mobile device. You know, and the picture quality and the screen resolution is fantastic. I mean, I expect the GoPro probably comes into its own again when you upscale, and by which I mean, you know, when you probably stop viewing this back from your mobile device or, you know, handheld device and put it on the big screen like a TV, a 32-inch television. Will the iPhone stand up to that test? Probably not. Will the GoPro? I'm very confident it will. You've only got to look at things like the Grand Tour, Top Gear, where they use GoPros, and Ken Block. They have GoPros in the car recording him. You know, they don't have these massive, you know, over-the-shoulder people sitting in the footwell, you know. So it stands to reason that these GoPros have got the video quality. There is no doubt about it. But for the purpose of how I'm using it, I don't think there's a great difference between probably using my phone and the GoPro. I don't think how you're viewing this makes a lot of difference to how I record it. Which brings me to another little off-topic topic. I've got a Sony camcorder, and I like using that on the channel. I have thought about flogging it a couple of times now that I've got the GoPro, but I like the video quality of that, the oldie-woldy sort of yesterday years grainy quality that it seems to record. And even though the thing's less than 10 years old, it still has that very dated video quality to it, which I I tend to like the appearance of a lot. Very fond of that. But anyway, getting back to the GoPro very quickly. Here we go. That's my particular GoPro. They all look alike as far as I'm aware, really. I think the cases distinguish them a little bit. I have this floating handle. It really does float. Yes, I won't show you the video. I did take video footage of it when I dropped her in the bathtub one evening while I was scrubbing me my kneecaps, and yes, she does float. It bobs along a little bit like that. Maybe was it up front? I can't remember, but it bobs along. It was all right. So that's a very good thing. I only paid about £5 or £6 for that, interestingly. Now, the mounting system on this, I don't particularly think's fantastic. Maybe you could get a better case for it and mount it. I don't know, and get rid of this. But I think this is pretty strong and sturdy, so I don't want to dishearten you towards that. You know, it's mounting. What would you call that? Mounting adapted. You know, it's adapter plates or whatever. They're very, very strong. I mean, look. You can see I'm giving that some Ted. I mean, there's no way that if that was to shear that you're going to have to worry about getting the thread out from the underside. So it's very good, but I do prefer that threaded technology because near enough everything's got that 1/4 inch thread or whatever it is. So that's fantastic. My only real gripes with this camera as a camera is that it seems to draw more attention from Muppets when you're walking around. You always get someone going, "Hello YouTube," in the background, and oh, you know, whereas if you're recording with a camcorder, I've never had an incident of someone doing that. In fact, I get more people willingly get out of your way, so you get more courteous, I think, with other devices. And with a mobile phone, I mean, I'm recording on it, you know, if that's your mobile phone, you're walking around like that, well, we all do that, heads in the cloud these days. So a mobile phone is very good. So my only gripe there again is, like I say, you get Muppets, notice you more. I don't like, and I know I said it in the previous video, I don't like the display timing out what goes on to standby. You know, when you're pointing away at something, sometimes, you know, your hand might relax, and then for a couple of moments you've got the head of someone half chopped or even out of the video completely. And the other thing is, I don't particularly like the selfie sort of, you know, when you're talking to the camera. I mean, again, I like with my camcorder I can flip it round and I can actually see that I'm talking to myself and that I'm in the frame very nicely. I'm sure some of you probably think, well, that ugly git, might as well put a picture up of a duck talking at us. But anyway, so there's a couple of niggly bits for it. Now, £300. Would I advise you guys to get one? Well, yeah, sure. I think it's a very good bit of kit, and it battery lasts, the memory's good on it, it's very easy to work, a lot of it's self-explanatory when you go through the menus, but £300. Do you know what? This is how we're going to resolve this one. Does my channel warrant a GoPro? If you take the camcorder out of the situation, only just. Because again, when I'm climbing down some of the bunkers, you know, you could put that on your head or on your chest even. It only just really warrants it, because then you don't have to cut the footage out for you guys where I've got to put my phone back in my pocket, the camcorder in my pocket or something like that. Because of what this is, it's an action camera, remember. This isn't just an ordinary camcorder and all that, or you know, this is an action cam. You really have to remember that. This is for recording action, you know, adventurous action, not, you know, sitting on the park bench watching a duck waddle past. So yes, my channel only just really does need this. I mean, some of the coaster shots, you know, are fantastic now that I can put a GoPro on my person. But you know what? Some of the people in my channel subscribed from the arcade stuff that I do. Do you know what? If you're just filming in the arcade, your phone is good enough, and it's less conspicuous as well. You don't look a knob, to be more blunt. You don't look like an idiot going, oh look, bang, bang on a button. You don't, and again, because of the fact that the phone's always displaying what you're recording, like I can see myself now as I'm talking to you guys. I have noticed in a couple of my videos it has that tendency. You know, the hand comes relaxed, and then all of a sudden the footage isn't as good as you'd want it to be, and you're not exactly going to wear it on your forehead. You're not making an action. You're not making content with proper action in it. So look, I think I can justify losing a few £100 on this, because I'm not rich. You know, we all have to work and put bread on the table at the end of the day. But if you can justify losing a few £100, I think, and you're making content that is worthy enough to need an action camera, then this is fantastic. I can't, you know, float its boat enough on the subject. It is a good camera, it really is. There are a couple of things that niggle me, but like I say, I think because of my lifestyle and my content I create on the channel, it's not brilliant, it's not fantastic personally for me. I'll tell you exactly what it's like, again, because I forget what I put in, or I'm trying to forget what I spoke about in the previous vlog that I attempted to film and it went pear-shaped. So I kind of like, oh, I've said that already in my head, so I don't bother, you know, repeating it. But I did make a comment years ago when I went into PC World and I was eyeing up iPads for the first time. The bloke said to me, and I didn't get it really at the time, and ever since I really understand every word he said. He said to me, iPads are fantastic, they really are, they're great, they're easy to use, everything almost feels like self-explanatory if you're coming from a mobile phone, you know, used to apps and stuff like that. But he said, do you know what, as a standalone product, it's no good. You have to have the PC already set up at a desk or a laptop you can use, you know, because they're no good on their own. They're a great addition. They expand how you work with a product nicely. And I think that translates to the GoPro very nicely, because with my camcorder, I'm already covering everything that I probably really need, and I can go on roller coasters with a camcorder, it's not a problem, because of how I'm doing it. You know, it's held in my hand, it's strapped to my hand, you know, you can upside down shake it, it's going, and plus, you know, you're gripping onto it probably a little bit harder in those sort of circumstances. My mobile phone, I'm recorded, I'm doing everything I want to already, I've got a camera, but this is a great accessory to it. It complements my lifestyle with this technology, if that makes sense. You know, how I already, you know, use these products, this just comes along and assists. If you're looking for your first camera, you've really got to have something of the basic technology, something basic already, i.e. like the phone. I'm not saying the phone is basic, but you've already got a device that you can record video footage with, and then expand from there, because you might, like me, probably don't really necessarily need a GoPro. You can already live with the technology you've got and go, well, do you know what would actually suit my needs more is if I got a proper decent digital SLR, I think that's what they're called, you know, camera, can record video footage. But hang on a minute, I'm taking a lot more photos, so it'd be more beneficial to do photographs. Do you know what I mean? So I think stick with the basic parameters first. If you've got yourself a smartphone, you've already got some technology there that you can play around with and mess about with, and then decide, probably a little bit more rational, hopefully, after listening to this, because perhaps maybe I didn't necessarily need to buy this, but I could afford to waste the money. It might be that a better camcorder and a better camcorder would have been better for my circumstances. And there's that little green neon coloured thing, and I can't remember who makes it. And I think that, when I look back in hindsight, I really wanted to get it, but I was kind of probably suckered into the brand a little bit more of the GoPro. I think that may have been the better choice personally for me, because you could mount it. They steal the technology from GoPro, and you could marry it up with stuff like that. So it means you could have had the head mount, the chest mount. It's a little bit more bulkier than this, but it had that screen that you could flip and that I could see myself constantly when I'm vlogging. And not only that, it also had a handy... No, it didn't have this screen that you could flip. It had a mirror on the front. That's all that needs. Make that perfect. It's a little mirror so you can actually see that you're in the frame of the shot at all times. But it also had a flashlight. So when we go exploring on the channel and we go down into some bunkers, it means if I've got that camera on me, I've always got a torch with me. You know, a little bit like the GoPro, I would have gone out and bought the extra memory cards, extra batteries. So it would never have ever really drained the battery on the device itself, you know. It wouldn't have mattered if it was draining the battery on the device, because I will always buy an extra battery for these sort of products. So, just to sum it up, my personal score out of 10 for the GoPro, considering it does stuff in the box that I don't necessarily require it to do, that's not the GoPro's problem, that's my problem. I'm going to score it quite heavily of 7.5 out of 10. Because the only thing, in my opinion, that really lets it down is the display. I'm sure there's something that you can do to alter that. The fact that it doesn't record volume, it doesn't record sound, sorry, for split second of opening it up and getting into record. And that when you're in this selfie mode, you can't really quite tell if you're in the frame. You know, this is meant to be a one-man band, isn't it? Let's word it that way. It's a one-man show, one-man band. And yet you're the director, the actor, and it can't quite cater for that situation when you're using it in this. So I think 7 out of 10 is quite a fair review. Just leads me to say thanks for watching this dribble. I can't remember, 22 minutes ago, so I can't remember half the things I said. I hope I've captured enough in this video to help you maybe make a decision if you are looking at buying a GoPro, and I hope I've not bored you too much to my regular viewers. All I need to say now is thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next week with the next vlog. Ta-da.